Everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making manicotti. Not only with ricotta, we're going to be making them with spinach because my family prefers them that way, and it's also great that they get to eat the extra vegetables. Okay, I know it's overwhelming on the table, but you know I'll go step by step, and also the recipes will be in the description. Also, to download and print my recipes, you could go to www.alessandrasfoodislove.com and the recipe will be printable. Okay, let's get started. So right here I have for the crepe, for the manicotti shell, I have 2 cups of milk, a tablespoon of melted butter, 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, a teaspoon of salt, and no pepper in it, sorry. Let's move over to the filling. It's going to be, I am going to cook 10 ounces of frozen spinach, you know those 10-ounce blocks, I love them, with a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to cook it and I'm going to show you that. And then when that cools down, I have a pound of ricotta, actually the 15-ounce containers, because here in America we get the 15 ounces. 2 eggs, half a cup of Parmigiano. You must have the nutmeg in it. Just a couple of a little grating of the nutmeg is a must. When you buy your spices, try to buy them not ground up. They last a lot longer. So I love my little nutmeg pods, and I keep them for such a long time. Now, also another thing we gotta do is we need to make the tomato sauce. This is not something that gets overpowered with tomato sauce. So right here I have 2 28 ounces cans of the San Marzano tomatoes. I have half an onion, half of a medium onion, or this was actually one small one, fresh basil, extra virgin olive oil. So the first thing we're going to do right now is let's make the crepe batter, the manicotti shell batter. Going to add the teaspoon of salt right in. Now, the sequence why I'm doing this first is that I like the batter to sit for a few minutes, and then the next thing I'm going to do is the sauce, and then we'll make the crepes and the spinach. So you'll see we'll bounce back and forth, but I'll go slowly. Now, I'm going to add the eggs and start whisking because you want to start creating like a little batter. If you mix everything together, what's going to happen is you're going to get flour balls, palline di farina. I remember my mother would say, little flour specks, and then it's impossible to get rid of them. And then what you need to do is put everything in the blender. I just find it easier to do it by hand like this, okay? Now, latte a filo, a thread of milk at a time. Okay, let's just get a little bit in and start stirring to a smooth batter. You see, once it's nice and smooth, just give it a good stir, like that. Now you could add the remaining milk and just incorporate it well. Okay, it's perfect. Now I'm going to set it on the side, and let's move over to the stove to make the sauce. Okay. I'm going to say 3 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil just to coat the bottom. My flame is on medium. I'm going to add the onions. Now I want to have the onions sweat but not burn. The onions have been sweating for a few minutes. Look at that. They release all the flavor into the oil. So what I'm going to do now is add the tomatoes right in. I'm going to higher the flame so it picks up heat. Because when you add the tomatoes, you want that frying effect. You hear that? Yeah, that's what you want. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, add the basil, and I'm going to hit it with my immersion blender. And that's just to get everything chopped already. It's not hot, so there's really no danger of splashing back. to a boil. Add a teaspoon of salt, then we'll adjust the salt later, okay? Give it a good stir. Now this is what you do. Place your wooden spoon across and the lid goes on top, but there needs to be, la salsa deve peppiare, we say in Neapolitan, the sound that it makes It needs to breathe, because if you cover it, it's gonna steam and it's not gonna taste right. So leave the little side open so the steam escapes, and it's gonna cook while we get everything else set. I'm gonna move it over. Let's do the spinach. Tablespoon of butter. Flame is on medium. Let it melt. The block of spinach. Mine is still frozen. Don't worry. No need to, if you have time and you take them out ahead of time, that's great. But otherwise it's fine, because we're gonna leave it open like this, right over. So take a look. You could come closer here. I'm gonna just, like I said, it's still frozen, so just let it thaw right in. I was avoiding saying the word thaw because it's not very simple, but anyway. Lower the flames, you don't want them burning, and what they're going to do is they're going to just saute in the butter, and you leave them open so the water evaporates and they're nice and dry. I've tried it many times with fresh spinach, and unfortunately too much water comes out of them and you have a disaster when you add it to the ricotta. It just keeps running. So do it like this. It's definitely the better way to do it. See, just 5 minutes in, the water's pretty much all evaporated and the spinach are ready. I'm going to give it a crack of black pepper and just shut the heat and move on the side till we're ready to use them. They got to cool down completely. An 8-inch frying pan, non-stick. First thing I'm going to do, a little dab of butter. The first time I put the butter, then as you make it, you really don't need it. But that's way too much, so I'm going to dry it out. Just going to like that. Okay. So now let's make sure it's nice and hot. And here we go. I'm going to add ladle. This is 1/4 cup, by the way. Just give it a swirl like this. Okay, and now you're gonna let it cook. You'll see that the sides start cooking and detaching. You're not gonna flip it until the top is pretty much all cooked. See it? It's changing colors. You still see the wetness there and all the dryness all around. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it. See, first crepe is ready. Let's just move it out and work. Now you'll see, I want to show you again because you'll see it will not stick to the bottom. So you do the ladle in, give it a swirl. And let's cook it. Okay, flip it, there it goes, and cook the other side. Ricotta, I'm going to add the spinach right in. They've cooled down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the eggs last. The cheese goes in too. I'm using Parmigiano, Pecorino Romano, goes very well. Here's the pepper. I'm going to give it a little grate of the noce moscata, which is the nutmeg. That's up to you. This could be optional if you don't like the flavor of the nutmeg. I like it. I'm not gonna add the salt. I'm gonna give it a stir first and then taste it, and then I'll check if it needs salt. Go ahead and taste it. It needs a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of the salt. I think for the amount of food, it's fine. So just 1/2 teaspoon. Now it's time to add the 2 eggs. Now, If the ricotta is very watery, the type that you buy, drain it the night before. If you mix it and it looks runny, just add more grated cheese. The grated cheese will absorb the excess milk from the ricotta, and you'll get a nice dry mix. Just mix it. You'll see it'll incorporate the eggs nicely. It'll be light and soft and really delicious. Guess what? My daughter just went in the fridge. She goes, Ma, I think you're forgetting something. Sure enough, I forgot the mozzarella. I had it cut up in the fridge. So here it is. Half a pound of cubed mozzarella goes also in the mix. And thank you to my daughter, okay? I guess I'm gonna tell her not to do the dishes tonight. Should I? Maybe I should, right? That was very kind of her to remind me. All right, here's the mixture. Here are the crepes that we made. There's two missing because they fell victims of Nutella with my other daughter. Anyway, it's all good. So let's get this mixed, let's get them rolled, and in no time we'll be having dinner. Sauce at the bottom of the tray. Don't overpower it because you want the manicotti to come through. It doesn't need to be swimming in sauce. Okay, this is the best way to do it, like this. There you go. Perfect. Now, manicotti on the counter. Just get the filling right across, like this. And this is how I like to do it. I like to roll it, right? And then the closed part to go underneath. There it goes. Goes another one. Okay. Fold it over, roll it, and the closed part underneath. I will continue on, and then once I'm done, I'll show you the next step. We got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17. 17 is not a good number in Italian, but it's okay. It's gonna do. I'm gonna add the sauce right over it. Okay, and I'll fix it nicely right before I bake it, but I just want to show you. Everybody's screaming that they're hungry. I'm going to just get extra of the basil right on top for extra flavor, and then a nice dusting of Parmigiano. Ecco qua. I am going to cover it with aluminum foil and straight in the oven. We'll check in 45 minutes. Look how beautiful it looks already. The cheese is breaking on me. Okay, this is it. They're ready. 45 minutes in the oven was enough. They were covered. I uncovered it basically for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and plate one for myself because I definitely want to taste it for you. I'm going to cut it right in the middle. I want to show you the inside, what it looks like. Take a look. See that? The mozzarella che fila. It's just perfect. Delizioso. Absolutely delicious. Please make it. It's a perfect meal for Easter Sunday. And even though you can also make it on Good Friday, being that not eating any meat, so it's fabulous. Any occasion is good. Only a couple hours it took, and it's really an incredible, delicious meal. Thank you for watching. Also, I want to be making fagottini, same crepe idea with ricotta and fried tiny pieces of melanzane eggplant. So, look forward to doing that with you. Thank you. Be safe. Alla prossima. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao.